All right, good morning, y'all. It's your girl Aisha, otherwise known as Miss Champagne. It is a nice chilly morning here in West Central Florida where I garden. We are zone 10A, and I'm going to be doing some harvesting today, and I've got a little bit of mulch that I can put down because it's going to start to get a little hot. So I want to make sure my soil is as protected as possible. Seeing a lot of nasturtium seeds falling on the ground. So we're just going to collect those. I don't know if you can see what those look like. It's from these big, beautiful flowers we have. So I'm just going to put some of those in my harvest basket. These are some determinate tomatoes that I had growing since the fall. They went through the winter and they are pretty much done. So I am going to be harvesting these. There's two types of tomatoes, determinate and indeterminate. Your determinate varieties are going to grow to their determined size. They usually will produce a lot at once, and then they'll start to slow down and pretty much tinker out. So I'm harvesting these before they get completely red, only because they can't continue to ripen on the countertop. Let's get this tomato cage out the way. Oh, I've seen some pest damage. So something's been in here eating the tomatoes. So I'm going to give these to the chickens, let them finish them off. Now this one is completely green. It's got a little bit of blushing on the shoulders here, so it should ripen on a countertop. I put them stem side down. Now if you're gardening in ground, you can cut the plant off at the base and leave the roots to kind of break down. But if you are gardening in a bed, I recommend you pull your whole plant. All right, and it looks like we have some root knot nematodes in the soil. When you pull your plants, you can expect the roots, they should be, long and slim. These have knots on them, and that's caused from a nematode in the soil that impacts the roots of your plant and will impact the health of your plant. All right. So I am going to put this in my compost, but not the roots. Everything behind. So what I'm going to do is pull weeds. That's a never-ending battle. When I get some more black cow, I'm going to amend this bed, pretty much move all of this wood chips that I have here to the side, amend it with some nice compost. I see a lot of volunteer tomatoes. And I'm going to take a lot of these marigolds that have dried up from the winter and spread their seeds. Smooth ice irrigation. Pull some more weeds. Always pull weeds as soon as you see them. We've had our daylight savings, so we should start to see a lot more sunlight and get a lot more hours of sun. So I want to make sure my onions that are here in the front are getting enough sunlight. So we are still having temperatures in the 60s and 50s during the night and early mornings, which is why I have a sweater on because it's cold. These are my collard greens that I've been harvesting on all winter long. This is pretty much the size that I like to harvest my greens. And I snap the bottom leaves off. Leaving the center leaves to grow more. So depending on what kind of greens you're growing, if they're like a heading type of green, then you let those get to a head and then you harvest the whole thing. So I'm gonna harvest a lot of these greens. No pest damage, which is beautiful. I interplanted a lot of onions, calendula, and marigolds, which I believe has helped keep the bugs off of my collard greens and cabbages. So this should open up a lot of sunlight to these onions that are over here. Take a few more outer leaves. All right, and I just break it off as close to the stem as possible. You can use your shears if you want, but I can never find my shears. Because I never put them back when I'm gardening. I just sit them down wherever and then that's where they stay. And then I'll find them when I'm not looking for them. Just checking on my bell peppers here. If I have not nematodes in one area, I probably have them in a few other areas. But I am going to get some pruners. I have a lot of the old marigolds that I need to remove, so that the seedling marigolds that are starting to sprout, like this here, have, you know, enough sunlight and room to grow. So as we are getting ready to head into our spring, which is more like summer in Florida. I'm not going to be planting as much. Or it'll mainly be, you know, cover crops. Because I'm not out here as much in the summer months as we start to warm up, and it's like in the 80s and 90s in the morning, and the heat is like unbearable. So I'm going to let the calendula finish. My beets now have some sunlight. They didn't get any summer, any light all winter, I mean. So they got stunted. So I don't know if I'll have enough time for it to really, you know, develop a nice beetroot. I'm gonna give these to the chickens. I do eat the beetroot leaves, so even if it doesn't, you know, turn into a nice beet, I will eat the leaves. You can eat them when they're nice and small in like salads, but when they get like this size or this size, I'll stir fry them. So give that to the chickens. I need to come through and get all of these weeds as well. There's lots of ants that are developing their little nest at the base of the planters here. See them all running. Alright, so we've got our collard greens picked. Want to make sure I'm not missing any. That cabbage isn't ready back there. Got garlic. Some of these beds. Yeah, let me just pick the dying marigolds. And so this is an old marigold plant. And all of these dried flower heads are seeds. So you can see all of these are marigold seeds. So once you plant marigolds once, then you should be able to have marigolds all throughout your garden. I'm gonna put these in my basket so I can finish amending this bed. lot of this break down since it's so dry and crispy already. And I'm just crumbling up the branches. A lot of this running grass. Light, we've got water. Try to brush back some of this soil. All right, let's get some. Look at this harvest, guys. All these greens. We've got tomatoes. All right, I've cleared this area. So this area is all ready. I'm gonna move back a lot of those wood chips, and I'm gonna get the Black Cow compost to amend this soil with. And then I'm going to fertilize my onions that are in this front row. So let me step out of the shadow here. Now you can see my onions have a lot more sunlight. All right, so let me grab the compost and I'll be right back. All right. So I'm just moving back the wood chips and placing compost. I'm going to mix it in. I'm going to cover it back up. Do it a little bit closer to where my onions are. Just a lot of that compost. There we go. That way they get a nice healthy dose of compost as well. Replace my irrigation. That way any marigold seeds that have fallen will have some good compost to grow in. And then when our summer hits, I can just add the cover crop in, which is going to be probably cowpeas, just to have something growing in the soil that can benefit the soil by bringing in more nitrogen by the roots, like a lot of your legumes, peas, beans would do for your plants. All right, and that is pretty much it for this bed. I've got my harvest. We've amended the section that we took out. And as my winter crops continue to come to their end, I won't be adding in any more cool weather or even warm weather crops, because we're going to get hot very quickly. So the next crops to go in here will be all of my summertime crops that require little to no maintenance at all. You put these up, otherwise I'll never see them again. So yeah. Whew. It's starting to warm up just that quickly. So don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe so you can follow along on this journey of developing my food forest. I do in-ground gardening. You know, we garden in raised beds. I have the metal ones. I have a cinder block bed. We have grow bags that I'm growing potatoes in. You name it, we're doing it. So as long as you're growing food, that's all that matters. With that being said, don't forget to follow along. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you're growing. I am tired. It's a lot of work. All right, bye.